Hello everyone, I'm Isra. In this video, my friends and I will discuss a very important issue. Most of us, or I can say all of us, at least once when we were children, teenagers, or an adults, have experienced bullying. Yes, bullying. Today we are going to talk about bullying. When I say bullying, what does it mean? It means repeated, unwanted, and aggressive behavior, usually between students, and these students have serious and lasting problems, physiological problems, and also have imbalanced power. One of them is strong and the other one is weak. I said bullying is behavior. What kind of behaviors? Behaviors like threatening, excluding someone from a group, spreading rumors, attacking someone physically or verbally, and so on. According to the behavior, we can divide bullying for 4 types: physical, verbal, social, and cyber. Physical mainly depends on using your physical power. On the other hand, verbal depends on using your mouth. Social includes behaviors like excluding someone from a group, spreading rumors, harm someone's social reputation, and so on. And the last type is cyberbullying, and this occurs via any digital technology. Now I will mention some studies about bullying, and this studies or this fact comes out after doing a survey on 1,000 people who were bullied when they were children. So they found out that 89% of people were bullied when they were children, and 57% of them bullied when they were in elementary school. And also found out that verbal bullying is the most spreading bullying. Comes after verbal bullying, social bullying, then physical, and the last one is cyberbullying. The last thing I thought you should know to start to take it more seriously is that bullying, whatever the type, has a harmful effect on your mental and physical health, as 43 of people who were bullied when they were children have mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, and panic disorder, and so on. So yes, bullying is very dangerous and serious issue all the world suffer from. Now my friend Sarah will complete to make you sure that this issue or bullying is a serious, dangerous phenomenon we suffer from. And thank you.
Bullying is a major issue, and there are a lot of victims of bullying. And absolutely you and me have faced bullying at least once in our lifetime. Pretty sure it's not only once. But it's heartbreaking to know that also kids got bullied. There was a case that went viral on social media of this Australian kid, Quaden Bills. He got bullied for how he looks and for his height, because he has a genetic order that causes dwarfism. So his friends at school bullied him physically and verbally, that he got to the limit that he thought about committing suicide. He literally said that I want someone to kill me, and he's only 9 years old. How horrible is this story? But it's not the only story. There's also another story of this girl. Her name is Mallory Grossman. She's only 12 years old. Her friends at school bullied her because she couldn't do things as perfect as they do it, and how she looked. And it's surprising and heartbreaking to know that she committed suicide. Her family couldn't save her, and she was only 12 years old. Not only kids that face bullying, also adults face bullying. So there was this case of the girl Brandy Villa. She's 18 years old, that faced cyberbullying. So there was an anonymous messages that were sent to her saying, "You look fat, you are ugly, you are not worth it." These comments hurted her so much that she committed suicide. An 18 years old girl, instead of thinking about her future and what she's going to do, she committed suicide from these bad comments and from bullying. But as we know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So we have this story about Lizzie Gonzalez, and she's a motivational speaker and a fighter. She faced all kinds of bullying. She faced verbal, physical, social, and cyberbullying. But she fought it, and she became a role model for everyone. That was so good for her that she fought it, and we have to learn from her. Also, there are a lot of sites that show messages from unknown people that write about their stories of them getting bullied. There are now adults, but they talk about their stories in childhood. So there is a story of a boy who faced bullying as a kid. That kids at his school, they throw rocks at his face, and his face got many cuts to the limit that his nose almost broke. And another story of a girl that there was rumors about her at the school. She only needed someone to talk to. She needed someone to believe her. She felt so alone that no one believed her, even though she was the right one. So please stop bullying, because it's not a nice thing, and it could cause that people could commit suicide from it.
Hi, my name is Ala. Today we will talk about bullying. First, we will take an example of all question, which is students or kids on school. First question is how bullying affects. Bullying affects all the school and have many effects on students' health, entertainment, and learning. It's not only students that are bullied get affected, but also students that are bullied to others also affected by this, by getting afraid or getting frightened and uncomfortable. Now, all students or most of them don't like to see bullying on their schools, so all of them are affected. Second question is how does bullying affect victims emotionally and socially? It's not only very difficult for victims of bullying to make friends or had friends, it's also very difficult for them to keep a good relationship between others. They feel that they have a less confidence, and if anyone told them you are loser, you are fat, they feel that they have uncompleted person, and they begin to get through that all sentence of them are on him. Bullying person or bullying victims feel that they have very feeling that they are less confident and bad feelings. To overcome this feeling, they begin to start alcohol or get drugs or get at the end in depression. Third question is how does bullying affect family members? If our parents feel that their kids have bullying, they start to blame themselves that they are not good to make them confident. But if you want to blame anyone, you must blame the environment that the kid has a bullying on it. The final question is how does bullying affect health and well-being? And in this question, I would like to tell all of you about a story. One day I hear from my friends about an English series which is called 13 Reasons Why. The story of this series is that there is a beautiful girl in a high school and she has many friends, but they bully of her every day, and at the end of this story she killed herself. So at the end I would like to tell all of you, just to tell a good things to people to make them happy. Only this, not make anyone sad. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hadid Salah, and now I'm going to talk about how to support fight bullying. According to opinion, children around the world are bullied in schools. Our opinion, children studying around the world In Egypt, UNICEF data shows that 70% of the children are bullied by their schoolmates, which prompted the National Council for Motherhood and Childhood to launch the first national campaign in order to end violence among the children. And to confront this global phenomenon, some countries have started to enact laws and legislations. Among these countries is United States. All 15 states in the USA passed anti-bullying legislation in schools. The first was Georgia and the most recent was Montana. And the Senate Law number 250 was passed, which included a provision allowing accused of bullying to transfer to another school in order to separate the perpetrator from the victim. Number 2, England. England took binding measures by law for all public schools that included prohibiting all forms of bullying, and the British government launched a direct line to contact the police in the event of any assault, bullying, or any form of hate. And the Equality Act 2010, it's against the law to discriminate against anyone because of sex, color, or religion. Number 3, Austria. Laws are imposed on teachers to ensure the safety and welfare of their students. Thus, teachers must conduct themselves professionally and morally by interfering with bullying incidents. Number 4, Japan. In 2013, Japan introduced a law requiring schools to address bullying, including cyberbullying. And finally, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is one of the Arab countries that started taking actual measures by amending regulations of behavior. And the Ministry of Education classified bullying as a first degree of violation that requires punishing with decisive measures. And the ministry directed school principals to discount 10% of student behavior and stressed the need to transfer bullying students to the extension services units and provide advisory and educational services appropriate for their situation. And finally, a reporting line was launched against any violence or abuse of the child. And now with my colleague Shah.
I'll talk about the 3 cases of bullying. The first case, what if I'm being bullied? If you are undergoing this experience, I want you to know that you are not alone and things will be better for you. I've tried to give you some tips about what you do in such a situation. First, you have to speak to someone, especially an adult. If you can't speak to an adult, you're not comfortable enough or something, you can open up to a trusted friend. The main point is to have you talk because bullying thrives on silence, and those people who bully depend on their victims remaining silent so that they can continue such behavior without facing its consequences. Secondly, you have to make your own action plan. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to write down the whole situation, who is involved, when and where. You have to write down what your role in this plan and share it with someone you trust so that they can point out to you if there's something missing or something that you can add to make this plan more effective. Thirdly, and most importantly, you have to assert your rights. You have to know that the law and the policies are on your side, and you do not have to be afraid to tell people what you need to feel safe again. The second case is the worst case, and the source of the problem is, what if I am bullying? If you are developing such a behavior, know that you have to change it. You have to talk to someone. Maybe you will be reminded why you started developing such behavior in the first place. You have to set a goal to change such a negative behavior and put it into action to break the loop, and that's the most important part about it. The third case is, what if I witness bullying? If you witness someone being bullied, you have to know that they might be feeling alone. They might be wondering if things will ever change for them again. So try to be available whenever possible. Listen to them with support. Show them kindness and acceptance. Try telling them that they are not alone and things will be better for them. People love them and they deserve respect and being loved. Thirdly, you can encourage people to come together against violence. You can start a club or hold an event where people can come and share memories together. Lastly, I want to say that bullying is not fine. It's not fine to make someone suffer in silence and feel that they are not safe. And you standing up against bullying makes you the brave and the courage one. It gives hope to the people who are suffering in silence. And let me end this speech with referencing to an important and famous quotation said by Gandhi: "Be the change you want to see in the world." Thank you.